Welcome. I'm going to be describing the technique that we use to select the embryo that we are going to go to implantation first. So we had 3 embryos with my genetic material that were rated top grades for AA, I believe. And of those 3, one was identified as an XY embryo, and the other 2 are XX embryos. This is the only information we have about the embryos other than the day at which they matured to the correct size. So given that information, a limited amount of information, and wanting to provide like a random solution, I came up with a technique involving coin flipping. Basically, a different coin has been chosen to represent each of the 3 embryos, and I flipped each coin once in succession until a particular embryo had a plurality of turning up heads on the coin flip. I'm going to bring up the 3 coins that I selected here. These are the 3 coins that I used to represent each of the embryos, starting from the left to the right. The leftmost coin represents the first embryo, the day 5 XX embryo. The middle coin represents the day 6 XY embryo, and the rightmost coin represents the day 6 XX embryo. I'm going to a little bit about why I selected these coins, and then we'll come up with the results. I'll tell you the results of what happened. So basically, the leftmost coin is a bronze Follis coin that my mom purchased in Cincinnati as a conversation piece on the recommendation of a Professor Dr. Montgomery at Miami University. So this Constantine coin, a bit about Constantine, the city Istanbul, originally named Constantinople, was named for him, and it remained the capital of the Roman Empire for 1,000 years after he was there. Very briefly, some of the things he was known for was administrative and monetary reforms, as well as ending religious persecution of Christians at the Edict of Milan. This is a very old coin. As you can see, its age is in the 306 to 337 year time frame, so quite old. So the attributes that I identified with this coin as a inspiration, or as a sort of hope, if you will, for this embryo were leadership, tolerance, and economics. The second coin, you can see I'm actually displaying the reverse side. This is the coin that I'm not showing heads on because I like the engraving on the ship so much. One of the reasons I picked it was just this engraving. I like it a lot. So this coin is a Canadian 1949 80% silver dollar. On the head side we have George VI. On the tails, this is a representation of John Cabot's sailing ship named the Matthew. So a bit of history briefly on George VI. He served in the Navy and Air Force during the First World War. In 1936, he became king after his older brother abdicated. He was seen as the model of determination during the Second World War. The ship is a ship that sailed from England to the Newfoundland area of Canada in 1497. Of course, Canada having such a history with the UK, being that they have the UK monarch on their Canadian coin. And so the attributes of this coin that I selected were adventure, determination, and optimism. All around a beautiful coin, in my opinion. The third coin on the right, this coin represents our third embryo, the day 6 XX embryo. This is a United States 1879 Morgan 90% silver dollar coin. We're looking at the the front side, head side here. The reason it's called Morgan, or these are referred to as Morgan, is the engraver who engraved what's the name? Morgan. So a little bit background about the year 1877 and thereabout. This is the year that Thomas Edison demonstrated the light bulb. It's also the year of the USGS, the U.S. Geological Survey, is created. This particular coin was minted in Philadelphia. The time frame, again, the end of Reconstruction. So what you're thinking of when you think of this time frame is telephones are starting to come out. We have phonographs and railroads. It's kind of like that beginning of the great age of engineering projects like the Eiffel Tower, Panama Canal, that sort of thing. The attributes that I associated with this coin are science, engineering, and equity. So what we did, we flipped all these coins. The first flip, each and every one of them came up heads. So essentially we had a tie or push. And that was pretty exciting to see. On the second coin flip, the Roman coin representing the day 5 XX embryo came up heads, and the other two coins came up tails. And so given that result, we'll be proceeding with the day 5 XX embryo with the oldest coin there on the left, represented by the oldest coin. And of course, we know that they're not all thawing are going to be 100% guaranteed, and not all implantations are necessarily going to result in a pregnancy. So there is that risk, of course, and knowing that it's kind of an awkward decision to pick amongst which embryos will get to proceed and which don't. I do have these two in reserve, so to speak, and we will provide an update as we learn more. Thank you very much.